think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Welcome to the Fourth Wall Podcast.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Well, I feel like crap still, but that's okay, because I'm a trooper, and Mama didn't raise a quitter, so I'm gonna pull through.
Good. I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah, we'll see how it actually goes. But
I'm sure it's not that bad.
How's your week been?
Good. What did I do for my week? I don't know if I did much. Just like being in school and working 40 hours and, like trying to get this stuff done. Plus, for this stuff, I have to watch anime and whatnot. It's just like fucking shitloads of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually all going really well now that I'm not just like sitting and playing video games 24/7 and just ignoring everything that I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, it feels nice to actually be doing everything. Like my grades are coming up in college and everything, so.
Nice to set yourself some goals.
I don't know if I'm setting myself goals. I'm just kind of like trying to make a change. I don't like, I don't know. I don't have a set target, which is why I'm like, don't necessarily have goals, but I'm just like trying to improve.
I was thinking actually sitting down and still making time for like this podcast and everything. I thought that would be a pretty good, decent goal, But whatever.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, you don't have to be making a podcast or anything, but you're still taking so much time out of your day to watch all these different shows that I'm telling you to watch and doing all the research and stuff on it. And you're completing it even though you're working 40 hours a week and going to school. So, I mean...
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. You're accomplishing a lot. Whereas I just work, and this is just, like, what I would do in my spare time. I don't go to school or anything right now.
Yeah.
So... your life is a lot busier than mine.
It's busy, but I don't know. I made a post on Facebook the other day where I was like, I just like it. I'm always thinking about something, and as long as I have like everything planned out, I'm not bored. So I'm just constantly like moving and doing stuff. And it kind of helps me with like, I started a diet, which I'm completely failing at, but it's way better now because I'm like busy. So I'm like constantly thinking about what I got to do next, so I don't have to like accidentally eat this whole fucking pizza, or hey, I'm away home, I'm just gonna grab a fucking like pack of breadsticks from Little Caesars.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Like, it's so hard. There's not very many like good food options around here though. Like, you have to make either most of your food at home, or you go to like Subway if you want something healthy.
Oh fuck, Subway.
Yeah.
Their sauces are so bad, and their bread's so bad.
Really? You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I love Subway.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's better than most of the other stuff, but by the time I'm done making my sandwich, that shit ain't healthy.
That's true, actually. Mine probably isn't very healthy either. I get like a buffalo chicken, and I get like mayonnaise and some extra Chipotle Southwest on it. A very light amount of lettuce. I tell them just enough to make it look like I'm eating healthy. And then I get some pickles and jalapenos on that. And all the sauces are probably not the greatest for me. Plus, it's a lot of bad carbs for you because that's a lot of bread.
Yeah.
Too. Not to mention the 3 raspberry cheesecake cookies I got to get with it every time.
They're so good.
It's a steal, too. 3 cookies instead
of like $1?
Yeah, something like that. They have a reward system going on now, too.
Do they really?
Yeah, some guy who, over in the Subway over in Swartz Creek, he was like, you've been in here a lot recently. Do you even have one of our rewards cards? I'm like, no. He's like, you probably would have had like a free sub by now. And I'm like, well, shit, sign me up. Just give me all this stuff. Because I go there all the time. Because it's either I make my own lunch and I bring it in, which I'm not going to fucking do. I'm not taking my free time out. I'm just way too lazy to make my own food anymore. It's either Subway or Burger King or like McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell.
Something you drive by?
Yeah, exactly. Everything's over in Swartz Creek. Or if I want to drive over to Durand, there's a Little Caesars. So I don't exactly have like the healthiest food choices.
Wouldn't it be faster? Oh, I totally thought I had like my headset on from gaming, so I was looking for my mic, trying to put it up out of my way.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Jesus. Wouldn't it be faster for you to go like through Durand to go to work if you were gonna drive by something instead of going all the way to Swartz Creek? No?
No, because I hop right on the expressway over there. And it's like 5-10 minutes to there and back. So that gives me barely enough time to eat all my stuff and get back to work in my half-an-hour break.
That's fair.
So some days I have to take longer breaks than normal, though. Like on Friday. Yeah, I had a hell of a day on Friday. We were down 2 people. One of the guys from my work was finalizing his divorce. So he was gone for the day, and another one of the pullers called in sick. So we were down 2 pullers, and I was training one of the new guys, which is weird because I'm kind of a new guy myself, but the job's pretty simple. And we were just super busy on that, and then I lost my wallet, so I was like, okay, no breakfast for me, because I always go through McDonald's in the morning, and then no lunch for me, so I was like, this is dumb. I'm going to drive back to Owasso, look for my wallet really quick, make my way back. It was a half day for the schools out there. So I came home.
Fuck.
I expected to take a long lunch. Still couldn't find my wallet, but I found my gift card. So that was cool. And I went to go through Taco Bell, and the line was all the way wrapped around the building. Because all the kids were getting out from school and stuff. So I was like, nope. Went to Little Caesars, and it was really busy in there. I waited for a while, and I was like, how long is it going to be for Hot and Ready? And they're just, we have no idea, which I totally relate, but I feel like that's an awful answer to give someone. So I was like, I'll just take that crazy bread you just made, whatever. So I had crazy bread while getting back to work, being super late, on top of like us being really busy because we were down pullers. And it was just a hell of a day. I found my wallet, though.
I was going to say, I don't know how you switched from Taco Bell to Little Caesars with a gift card.
It was like a Visa gift card, like one of the reloadable cards.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Which I will never probably reload, ever. But, I mean, thank God that was just sitting on my dresser still from Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what story I realized I never told?
Which one?
The fact that I broke my window. Weeks ago.
It seemed like a sore subject, so I never wanted to bring it up.
No, I thought it was kind of fucking hilarious, actually.
But I thought it was funny, but I didn't want to... You seemed upset.
Because
it was a crazy experience in general, so...
I thought you guys were going to be like a lot more angry about what happened, but thankfully you guys are pretty level-headed for the most part.
And we're pretty used to our house just falling apart on us. So.
Mm-hmm. What was that happened after, like, the second podcast? Not the second one we tried recording, but the second legitimate one.
Man. Maybe?
Yeah.
The second... It was in between the second and the third. It might not even... Well, yeah, it was right after podcasting. It was that night, yeah. Because I was, like, wrapping up editing.
Mm-hmm. You were playing some sort of game I saw on it, and my window slammed shut because I didn't have it propped open properly. And it got stuck on the wires connected to that fuse that you're running through my window, so I'm not blowing the entire upstairs.
Oh.
Yeah, so it got jammed on that. So I was like, I can try to wiggle it out, but it just kind of shifts from the side to side. It's not really going anywhere. So I put my foot down on the fucking ledge, and I was just like, this shit's gonna go up. And it did go up after it shattered into, like, 15 pieces. It, like, cut up my foot and everything, and there was a bunch of glass. It was not what I wanted to deal with at, like, 11:30 at night. I was like, I'm just gonna open it up for a little bit, let it cool down, I'm gonna go to bed. Nope. I had to take apart basically my entire computer, all the wiring back there and stuff, sweep up all the glass. You were nice and swept up all the glass that was outside too.
I was so tired, and I was like, I wouldn't want to have to do this like by myself, so I'm just gonna go work on something because I didn't want to get into your computer wires and stuff. So
yeah, it was such a pain in the ass. But I think that's probably why I've been sick, because I've been basically sleeping with like a permanently open window, and the temperature's been kind of going crazy. I mean, it's super ghetto in there right now by the fact that I have one of the cardboard boxes from my work just taped up over the broken glass. But it's working out. It's not like it's cold in there or anything, but I'm always waking up with like a super dry throat and stuff. Then
it's just dry in this house.
It really is. I was thinking about picking up a humidifier while we were waiting to replace that. And your roommate went through and called a couple of her window people and dropped the bomb on me that it was going to be $700 minimum to replace this window. And I didn't exactly want to drop $700 on a window, especially since I can't really take it with me once I leave. But thankfully, I found a different solution and got a lot of advice from other people, so it's not going to be that expensive to fix at all.
Yeah,
once I actually get around to doing it.
Yeah, we were just figuring it was a good opportunity to finish off what we started.
Mm-hmm.
Because we did the other windows downstairs by that same company. But they gave us a deal on that, so I was like, if they're not giving us a deal after they already, like, obviously gave us a good sale, then I don't see a point in, like, spending so much money for them to do, like, nothing.
Yeah, like, I could have spent that money, but I'd rather not.
Yeah, no.
Because I could spend $700 on a lot more useful things than a window.
Oh, yeah.
But that's all right. So right now it's super ghetto in there. That's probably why I've been sick for the past couple of podcasts now. But I was really surprised I never brought it up because that was kind of a big fucking deal for the past like couple of weeks.
Yeah,
figure out
it was a
stuff.
Shitty situation. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I remember it on a daily basis. You probably do because you have to look at it. But
I walk in and there's just a big old piece of cardboard covering my window. And there was a blanket on it for a while, but the tape just stopped holding up the blanket.
Oh, okay.
I kept retaping it and it would just fall like within a couple of hours and give it back to your wife. So other than that, I really haven't had very much happening in my life. I'm still going to the gym a lot. I just rode 7 miles on my bike today, so it wasn't very much, but I started watching an anime while I was in there. I just I picked the farthest bike away from everybody, and I was just watching Haikyuu when I was over there. That's like a volleyball anime, so I was like, yeah, physical sports.
I'm
super
in
hype.
I started watching that when it came out. I'm like 5 episodes in.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
Episode 1 was pretty good. I mean, I was partway through episode 2, and then I decided, I've already ridden for quite a while. I should probably just go home and get ready to do this podcast. It also helped that the internet there was starting to crash at around that point too, so I couldn't really do much for about 10 minutes. But
yeah.
Other than that, it was all right.
I liked it. When we talked about our anime background, I never talked about that bout that I went through before when I first started watching anime, where I watched like all those other ones. Like I think I watched like half of Durara and fucking like
that one's so good.
I watched so many, and I didn't even realize it. I finished like Batum and all that stuff. It was around the same time Attack on Titan was coming out, so yeah. It was a while ago.
Yeah, that was at least a couple of years.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
There was something else I wanted to bring up. Oh yeah. We said near the end of the last podcast we were going to go check out Passengers or whatever.
Oh yeah, and then it was out of theaters.
Unfortunately, yeah, it was no longer in our hometown theater. So we decided driving 30, 45 minutes for it on like a time where we only had a couple of hours off, really.
Yeah.
Not worth.
Because we were like squeezing it into after your work hours.
Mm-hmm.
That would have just been lame because that would have been the whole night.
Yeah. I feel like this whole thing would work a lot smoother if you didn't work the same, like the exact opposite hours that I work, basically. It's just...
That's the story of my life. But I can't work first shift. I can't hold it, so...
What do you mean?
Like, you have to have seniority, basically,
Gotcha.
to work when you want. And I'm only like 2 years in, and I think the lowest seniority on first shift is like a 2012. So they have like 5 years in.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, I'm not even close. So
that sucks.
I'm stuck on second or third. I think I could hold third, but I don't really want to make that jump yet because that was just a shitty situation.
I feel like that would be even worse, wouldn't it?
No, because it's basically first shift in reverse. I'd be like waking up when you're getting home rather than like getting home. And then I just leave for work when you're going to bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That might actually work out nicer. Not that I'm telling you how to work your own job, but...
That was the way it used to be. That's the way I used to do it because we used to play video games in the afternoon sometimes during the week. But
back in the day.
I was just... I was like depressed, and that was like some of the worst times of my life, just because I was constantly fighting with Logan, and I was just like blowing off all of school. My grandpa died, and I was just like, everything went downhill. Work was terrible. They wouldn't hire me in. I was just like hating everything.
Yeah.
So it was shitty, but
you pulled through though.
Yeah. I'm still open to going back to third shift, but I'm trying to avoid that because I don't know what's going to happen if I do.
Yeah.
So
now that you're finally kind of settled in somewhere somewhat comfortable, it's not the most ideal, but I mean, give it a few years.
It's so shitty because I constantly like get texts and stuff about like, or like pictures of dinner while Logan's at home, and I'm like, man, I want to be fucking at home with my family eating dinner, and I'm just not. So that's kind of shitty, but
sorry about that.
All right. Well, let's jump into this.
Okay. You want to start with Seiren?
Yeah, let's roll with Seiren first.
Let's get the bad out of the way.
Oh,
first.
man.
What did you think of this episode?
I'll tell you what my one note was. It says Seiren is getting just dumb. Like, it's not even bad anymore, it's just stupid. Like, I'm so frustrated with the whole anime in general because I was like hoping it was going to take an interesting turn, but it's just not.
Yeah, not yet, really. It's super... I wouldn't say it's really predictable so far, but I have like an idea of how the show is going to go on. And I just hate the main character so much. Kamita, he's just so fucking spineless and just an awful character. I wouldn't have put him in any of the title pictures either. No. Honestly, the best part of the show is the girls, which isn't really saying much because they're also not all that great. No. But they're better than he is.
Yeah, for sure.
I just kind of caught myself sighing at least like every 3 minutes because every single time this character would do something, I would just mentally facepalm so fucking hard.
Shake my head at fucking everything he did. It was just so dumb. Well, that fucking bath scene.
The bath scene was bad. Just this whole fucking episode was just bad.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm so done.
You're dropping it?
I think so. I'm not interested anymore at all. Like, the story's going real fast, so I like that they're not just like dilly-dallying around with a shitty story. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't like hide the fact that it's a real fucking shitty story. And I just don't care at all.
This was a really short arc. It was only like 2 episodes that they spent at this 2-week-long like study vacation in the mountains someplace.
Yeah.
And the whole time, Tsuneki was just throwing herself at the main character.
Yeah.
The whole time. And he's just so fucking clueless and just so not like a normal person. I don't think you could find a single guy in the world who would be that clueless. Stupid. Especially like someone his age, like in high school. Their mind's fucking running crazy all the time. You're always thinking, well, maybe she likes me. That's why she's talking to me. Like,
yeah.
There's always that fucking thought.
Thought that in, like, middle school.
Exactly.
So, like, in high school, I would have been like, let's fucking do this.
Mm-hmm. But he's just like, no, gotta study and focus. But you're talking about you're peeing yourself in the bath. Oh, I got a boner. I'm like... I literally, like, fucking gasp in exasperation when that happened. I'm like, did you just straight up get a boner from her acting like she peed herself? In the fucking same bath as you? You don't think you'd want to just, like, get out of the bath at that point? But he like, immediately went the other way, bent over, was covering his, how did he say it? He had some sort of fucking phrase that he actually said.
He had a word where it was something to do with, like, he got excited, but it wasn't excited. It was like...
He could, like, feel it in his pants. Yeah. But he had a different word for it. It's
so cliche. The whole thing.
To make it even worse, when the fucking sunglasses sensei came in, he was getting ready to take the bath because all the students were supposed to go away. Bed. Yeah. He fucking left because the kid had a boner, and he thought he had a boner for him. He's just like, I've been waiting for you this whole time. As he stands up, And he's like lifting up the whatever the fuck it was called that the girl let him with his boner, and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna go back to bed now. Like, this boner just fucking saved him and the girl. And it was this show is so fucking bad.
It's so bad. I'm dropping it. I don't want to watch any more of it. I mean, maybe if you like watch the next one and tell me about it, I'll watch it, but
we'll see.
I really don't want to watch the next one. It's just like, I'm so sick of forcing myself to watch some of these shows.
I'll probably watch it, but we probably don't have to talk about it. Like, if I decide that it's not worth talking about, I'm not even going to bring it up on the podcast.
Sounds good.
So don't really look forward to that. Dude, Tsuneki fainted in the bath.
Yeah.
But that was kind of weird. I guess that kind of makes sense. It's sort of like your blood is rushing. It's super warm in there. Like, if you ever like got into a hot tub when you're really excited and you get kind of dizzy from it. But I don't know. I thought it was just kind of like a cop-out way to end the scene, I guess, because she was totally okay afterwards.
From the studio's perspective, cop-out? Yeah.
So
it was kind of lame. Real lame. Not kind of.
Yeah. And then she's, I don't know, she like stopped talking to him as much after that because she thought the main character ratted her out or something
to her
like
parents about working.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And
that's what the main character thinks. That's probably not what she thinks.
Probably not.
But it's like, that was kind of lame too. And what was the very last scene when he sees a Tsuneki across the street? She's not making any sort of eye contact with him at all, just looking straight forward on her way to school. And instead of like trying to call out to her to talk to her, he's just like, "Oh, Tsuneki-san," just like to himself under his breath across the road, like a good like 20 meters back. And she's like, "Oh."
I don't think she was across the road.
Yeah, she was. She was on the other side.
I thought she was looking at somebody else across the road, and he was just like walking behind her.
That's not what I got. I thought that she came up like the steps on the other side of the road. She was watching what's-his-face in front of her, though. Maybe. Or maybe she was just zoning out. But they made it kind of like a point.
No, the Arakai or something was with a girl across the street.
Oh, yeah, because they thought that maybe they would be dating or something.
Yeah, and he thought she had the hots for him.
Yeah.
And I thought walking up to this episode, they were like talking, and then she ran up to talk to the other chick, and like he was following her, so they were on the same side of the road, and then the other people were on the other side of the road.
I think it was the opposite, but not like it really matters.
Yeah.
I was just trying to say that the main character is kind of a pansy.
Yeah,
and
he
didn't
is,
actually
regardless.
call out to her. I mean,
because he was like, they were talking about going to hit on girls together or something, which I was like...
Isn't that like his sister?
What the fuck? I don't know. I thought he was talking to Tsuneki when he said that.
No, he wasn't talking to Tsuneki at all. That was like his sister or something.
I don't fucking
pretty
know.
sure.
I don't fucking know.
I don't fucking know either.
I hate the show so much. I just like kind of didn't care. So I was just like, well, whatever.
That's all I really have to say about this show. Don't expect me to bring it up next week.
I'm so done. Yeah, I'm not watching it.
Okay. Well, Seiren is on the chopping block.
Yeah. We need a horn or something.
Just the sound of a guillotine. Yeah.
We can edit this. Yeah,
one day when I feel better.
We'll fucking figure out.
We'll get some good sound effects.
Yeah. Guillotine. All right. So we're moving on to Masamune.
Yeah.
That's the next one we have on our list.
Correct.
Yes. How'd you feel about this one?
I took one note for this show.
Okay.
And I just wrote down BL zombies. That's a pretty good concept for a movie, honestly. I'd probably go see that. I don't know how scary it would be. It'd probably be. They said it was pretty terrifying in a couple of different ways. But
I'm trying to remember.
What happened?
Yeah.
Both of them had their dumb friend, and they were like, okay, if anyone fails this test, we have to take preliminary classes. So they're going to study together, and whoever gets the better grade, they made the bet.
Right.
Where if he, the main character,
gets a better score, then they go on a date. And then if she gets a better score, he has to buy her lunch until she says he doesn't have to anymore.
And he has to wear the sign on the back of his shirt until he graduates.
Oh, was it both?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had to do both. But he was pretty confident.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the only note I took for this show.
I wrote down Aragaki. Something happened in her past. Like, she started talking about it right at the end of the episode before it ended.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, they got interrupted. Somebody else ran in or something happened, and they both got distracted, so we never heard about it. But something happened in her past. So you started seeing, like, you're seeing the breakdown of her, like, huge ego wall. And I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm glad she's kind of getting a little bit more development towards that way. Although the series would be a total letdown if that never happened in the first place. Yeah. It was all because of that little girl that came up and asked her why she's dressed up in cosplay on her first date. When it ended up just being that Aragaki had no idea how dates were supposed to go at all. I'm assuming it's because she's like never actually been on one before.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, I mean, if I'm wearing this cosplay, it's going to break the ice and it won't be as awkward. In fact, it had quite the opposite effect, and she had no idea what she was doing.
I wrote down that the story is totally following your fall in love prediction, where he's like trying to date her to break her heart, but he's just falling in love with her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because at the end of the episode, she was like, Masamune, he was thinking to himself, man, she's really rude and arrogant, cocky, and nice.
She's and equally as kind. Yeah. There we go.
Dude, I don't see this show being exactly super great either. But it's funny. Like, I find myself chuckling at least a couple of times throughout the episode.
Yeah, it's not Seiren.
That's true. It's pretty bad.
It's a couple steps above Seiren, but there's
Seiren's really bad.
They're on a stairway to heaven, so there's a few steps in between.
I feel like we're just missing out on a couple of like shows this season that have to be some sort of like diamond in the rough.
There has to be,
because so far it's been very meh.
That's why I keep like, when you said you wanted to add shows, I was like, all right, let's fucking watch some other shows, because these are shit.
Yeah, we're going to have to drop a couple of shows because I don't see myself finishing every single one of these.
Do you want to watch the next? I think I'll watch Masamune's next one.
Yeah, I'm not like ready to drop Masamune, but I'm not exactly super looking forward to watching it.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was watching Seiren, I was hating it and myself every like couple of minutes. I was just, why am I actually watching this? If it wasn't for this podcast, I would have dropped that before the last episode. But
all right, well, that one's officially dropped at least. We'll see where Masamune goes, but I'm not real excited for it.
Yeah.
All right. Next one on our list is interviews with monster girls.
How'd this episode make you feel?
I like this episode. One of my notes I took, I said, Testuo? I don't even know how to say his name.
Tetsuo?
Yeah. Takahashi.
Yeah, Takahashi.
The teacher dude. I think it's fucking hilarious when they bring him out of his character, out of his like professional teacher character, and makes him like a normal person. Like when he catches the succubus girl, Saki. He catches her when she like trips. And he like acts all cool and shit, and then he gets around the corner and he's like, my heart's beating so fast and all this shit. I was like cracking the fuck up. I love this show. It's
more
good.
So than you were last week, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm coming to terms with that. It's more of a comedy than what I want.
Yeah.
But other than that, I do like it.
I think it's a pretty good slice of life.
Yeah.
The Succubus Sensei and I are both Libras, so I felt like, hell yeah, we have some sort of connection. I'm just like this chick. She's just like me. Hold on. I'm going to look up our horoscope for today.
That's fine.
Libra.
You do that. I think it's kind of like annoying though that every single monster in this whole thing is like they're struggling with love. That's their actual struggle. Nothing else. I'm like, okay. It's just another drama.
Yeah.
And it's kind of lame, but it's a funny comedy, so I'm just going to try and stick to that perspective.
All right, so for Succubus Sensei and I's horoscope for today, you have resolved some recent misunderstandings with as little words as possible, and you are proud of your accomplishments. Still, you need to think about the depth of explanations you have given to the other person. For if this is just a temporary fix, the next problem will explode more fiercely than the previous one did. I think I'm going to use that as a fucking my prediction for what this show is going to be.
Welcome to the horoscope
Hey, we're both Libras,
segment
okay?
of the podcast.
Leave us alone. But yeah, so she's gonna try to be more outwards with her feelings towards the end of the season with Takahashi, and it's just gonna kind of explode on him.
So weird that Succubus Sensei and the Dullahan are like competing over like who likes him or like that love in general. I'm like, this is weird.
It is a little weird. It's like they both have crushes on him, and he's just this strictly like all business personality while he's at the school.
Yep.
Except for the one time when he had to like kind of release a little bit of himself when he finally got around the corner, and he was just like, holy shit, my heart is pounding. But I really like the vampire chick.
Yeah,
she's super funny.
It's a good like comic relief to throw in there because she's just so funny.
I like her relationship with the teacher right now because every single time he's super just strictly business. He's just saying things in a really monotone voice, extremely
every day,
serious.
you know.
And she's
Hello.
like, with more energy. And then he says it, and she's like, you pass. And I'm just like, that's an awesome. I love that. That's an awesome. Much English.
This show's good. I like monsters with or interviews with monster girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much more comedic, and it throws it in a little like slight spin off of everything else. So it's nice.
I'm super excited for the next episode though, because we're finally getting some more screen time with the snow chick.
Yeah.
Which I still don't really understand like how that's a thing, but apparently she's like freezing the top like floor that she's on, maybe. Because that's what happened like, towards the end of the episode.
Radiating cold. Yeah. Hang on. March is next on our list?
Yes.
All right. Dude, the show actually went the way I wanted it to go, but it's like unfortunate. Because Ray loses.
Yeah.
That match. I was just like... It was kind of lame. But
I'm glad that he lost.
I'm glad that he lost too, because I didn't want to see him just like pull a hero move.
Yeah.
But I did notice in the intro, the intro's like, you see the bridge and then it flashes to his room. The water and the books in his room have color. So like you're seeing inside his apartment, and his apartment has colors. So I thought that was kind of cool. I keep jumping back to the intro because I like it so much. But I just like keep analyzing different parts of it. Mm-hmm.
I stopped kind of watching the intro and the outros and stuff because I don't like spoilers.
I don't watch them. Yeah, I don't watch much of the intros. Usually I skip them, but I like March too much. I just like watch the whole thing.
I thought it was interesting in this episode. They had a little bit of a reminder scene of what happened to last episode before it actually went into the chapter. It was only just like a quick scene where the best friend was like, I want you to split Ray's head open. And he was just like, boy, oh boy, or something, whatever he said. And then it actually went into the chapter, and he lost, and Ray was having this super big breakdown and stuff. Besides from the breakdown, though, I noticed the CGI on the juice bottles and stuff, like the aloe drinks that he was drinking. I thought it didn't look that bad, honestly. I thought it was actually kind of fitting with the art style. Although it did kind of stick out to me a little bit.
Okay, I didn't pick it up at all.
Have you ever had the aloe drinks?
Yes.
Those ones? They're pretty fucking good.
I like them. It's a little weird to me, just because it's like...
Super pulpy.
I don't mind pulp. I like orange juice with pulp, but like, fuck. I'm just gonna keep saying like.
It's okay. You're allowed to say like. Like is a word.
The aloe drinks are weird to me because the whole consistency of the drink is like thick.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know, but it's good. I like them.
This anime has a weird thing for cats. Like, I don't understand what the obsession is.
Smith. That is what his name is.
Yes.
I wrote it down so I could remember it this time.
Yeah. The older figure. Yeah. He found the new cat in the previous episode, and he's now just super excited to go home and see it all the time. Just kind of like his own little happiness after losing a match.
Is his name like Strawberry or something?
I don't remember what the name of it was, but... He just dove for it. That was the other CGI that was in the episode. A bunch of like cat food and stuff that was rolling around. That looked a little bit worse than the drinks, I thought. But
I don't know. I'm not catching any CGI. I'm not as advanced.
One day.
And Ray goes back to school in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting. It's nice to... I just like the character development of this whole show. Just watching him, like, come back to reality and come out of his depression.
I would say he was even kind of, like, going the opposite way, though. He was, like, trying to solve his problems by running away from them. Because he went out and he got the different books full of all the job opportunities and stuff from the store. Because he's looking to not be a shogi player anymore. He wants to get, like, a real job.
Yeah.
But because of the situation that he's in right now, he has to keep playing shogi. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to live by himself.
Yeah.
So I don't really see him quitting shogi by like the end of the show per se, but he's definitely like looking like for a new job right now because he's just so, I don't know, dissatisfied with himself because of the loss, because he did not respect his opponent enough. He said that like multiple times throughout the episode too.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he lost, and it was a complete and total defeat after like one of the first few turns. Just because it was already all, like, planned out. The other guy basically had answers for every single one of his moves.
Mm-hmm.
He went back and he taught him and stuff. And the person he went up against went and talked to his brother again and was like, we should get him to join the workshop, the shogi workshop, so he can come in and, like, learn and take notes from us and stuff. But he's not going to ask him because he wants Ray to be able to, like, be the one to say, I'm going to keep playing shogi. I want to learn to like get over my own mistakes, and I want to get better on my own terms and not. If he's going to end up getting another job, he won't ever join that workshop because there was no point for him to.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the only reason like why they haven't really asked him to, because Ray has to be that one to take the first step to better himself.
Or else it'll just be like a...
He's going to be relying on others
grindstone kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. It was...
He is not a good basketball player, though.
He just, like, panicked. Got ran the fuck over.
Yeah, he would lose to the Generation of Miracles so quick. Oh, you haven't seen that show, have you?
Nope.
Oh, man. You've got the guy who can make a basket from anywhere on the court. You've got the guy that turns invisible. You've got the guy that jumps really high. You've got the guy that can, like, predict what the other people are going to do. And you've got, like, the guy who you can't score on because he's, like, so big. And then you've got the guy who can copy everybody. You put them on a team, give them a bunch of fucking superpowers, and you're going up against Ray. Ray is going to get stomped. He's like...
I don't know.
He was getting ready to travel.
Those other kids were pretty good.
I think he needs to focus on sports a little bit more. He needs to make himself a little bit healthier. That's a good way to make yourself happier. Just go to the gym, find like a different hobby, but all he ever does is play shogi and eat ramen. So he's super unhealthy, but not as unhealthy as his friend.
I like that he was actually able to like self-identify in this episode. Holy shit! I'm just like adding L's to everything. I was super excited in this episode because he was like self-identifying that he was dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, for somebody who's like so depressed but so smart at the same time, like he should be working on his nutrition and not eating like ramen every day and shit if he's noticing that he's dehydrated that quickly.
Yeah, but he's also like in a point where he doesn't really care.
Yeah, that's
about
true.
any of that sort of stuff. But he knows that he was laying in bed for like a few days, he said.
Was
Not
it
really?
days?
Yeah, he said it was like a few days without like eating or drinking really. So that's why he felt super sick. And his body's going to be rejecting all of that stuff. So he was making himself sick. Was he fine by the end of the episode?
Yeah, he was at school.
He was just like not sick anymore.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because the teacher came down and sat with him and was like, "You need to eat hot foods and not cold foods
When you're sad.
Yeah, I took a note for that. I was like, next time I'm feeling sad, I'm just gonna make myself some ramen and not just like eat a whole tub of ice cream.
That's interesting. I wonder if there's actually like any research on that, or they just kind of threw it in.
I don't know. It sounds like it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like
Warm
warming
up.
yourself up.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was a good episode. I really liked it.
I made a mistake in like the last episode or two, I think, when I was saying he was the fourth middle school player. He was actually the fifth
Okay.
person. I mean, that's not that big of a deal. No one really called me out for it, but
I think he's fourth Den.
fourth Dan.
Maybe.
I don't know.
He might be fifth. I don't remember now.
He's rank B, isn't he?
I used to have notes on what rank he was. I don't have that anymore. I'm not looking it up.
But he lost to an A really bad, so he's not that good.
Yeah, he did.
He's got some work to do still. He's good, but he ain't no best shogi player.
No, yeah. I mean, he's only 17, so...
Yeah. The teacher brought that up too. He has all these responsibilities that he's kind of putting on himself for like being a 17-year-old, and he's like, you have to do your laundry, you gotta cook for yourself, you have like a full-time job basically, you have to go to school still, all that stuff.
He is 5 Dan right now.
5 Dan?
I'm not going to read you the rest, because that's a spoiler. I
Okay.
shouldn't have ever opened the Wikipedia, because there's so many spoilers for every show in here. I was like, maybe they aren't going to spoil shit because it hasn't come out in the anime yet, and they're just going to update it.
Nope.
They just do whatever the manga says.
The source material.
Yeah. So that's great. He is 5th Dan right now, though. So, I guess, I don't know how... They probably said there was 4 before him. That's easy to confuse.
Yeah.
I just really like this show in general. I like watching the character progression. That's just, like, interesting to me.
Did he decide he was going to do anything by the end of the episode?
Not that I remember.
Because I wrote down that the birds that were flying like at the end of the episode were kind of symbolizing that he's going to start to get himself out of the hole that he's kind of dug himself into.
I like that.
I thought that was like good symbolism, but looking back on it, like I watched it several hours ago, so I don't remember if the end of the episode actually had any sort of conclusion. But
Okay. No,
I was hoping you would remember.
I don't remember him. Yeah, I definitely just watched it, and he didn't make any notions towards anything yet. He never even brought up like quitting shogi. He just had that job book, so
He was looking for all the other jobs.
yeah.
So,
We'll see what happens.
still a good show.
Yeah.
Not going to get dropped.
No way. All right, Akibas trip.
I related with this episode a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because he went and he saw an idol, or he listened to an idol, and then he was just like super studying how they were. He wasn't
okay.
like super freaking out like about being an idol fan or anything, but he's just like, this music is great. And he went through and he did all the different like studying of all the different sound, like the ways he can listen to it, all testing out all these different speakers, all these headphones, because someone let him borrow his super like expensive headphones to listen to like a song or two or
They're
something.
not headphones. They're ear speakers.
Ear speakers. Yes. They called it
That's
that.
cracking the fuck up.
I can totally fucking relate because there was a while where I was super obsessed with the quality of sound for a lot of different songs and stuff. I was like, why would I want to listen to a lower quality version of the song when, like, the other option was available to me? And
Yeah.
now I don't really care as much because it sounds mostly the same if I'm not trying to, like, pick it apart or I'm not in a studio or something. But I would download, like, the lossless files. These headphones that I'm wearing right now, $250. It gets super pricey.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, headphones out there that are worth probably, like, several thousand.
Yeah.
Just regular headphones. There was...
Ear speakers.
Yeah. He was, like, slowly going down the life of an audiophile. And I was like, I can relate. And then he realized it's super fucking expensive. He's like, how am I going to pay for any of this stuff?
Keeps going back to that job bank.
Yes, he kept picking up all of those sort of jobs. That was super funny. And while the three girls were trying to pick up their life as an idol, or idol group rather, they were doing all right, but it was a lot of work for them.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird, like, not really weird, but I guess it was more like a cliche, like, or not even that. It was just pretty predictable what was gonna happen the whole time, because they were just like, oh yeah, we're gonna be idols, and then the dude's like, oh yeah, this is like a porn shoot. Take off your top.
Well, because he was a bugged one.
Right.
The whole time. He was trying to get them to undress to kill him.
Right. I thought it was pretty predictable for that. And then they fight, and then they're all better, and then she's like, I'm going to make you an idol now. I'm like, they were already doing that. Like,
yeah. But a real idol.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny how the cosplay chick, who's not actually a bugged one at all, was the one that was super excited to be an idol in the first place. She's the one who really wanted to do it. But all three of them got us. Whatever her name is. Another funny part of this episode, I thought, was when he actually started talking with one of the background characters. Because usually in the background of, like, one of the shots, if you're watching, like, a sports anime or any sort of, like, idol stuff, you have these poorly drawn... They kind of look like people figures.
Like a circle head.
Yeah.
That's about it. Maybe a line through it to make it look like they have like a mouth maybe. And that's it.
Yeah. And then the character who let him listen to the ear speakers in the beginning was actually designed like one of those characters. Clearly different from everybody else. He had the head that was like 3 times the size of his own. He was drawn just like a gingerbread man kind of basically.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was super funny. I've never seen another show really kind of bring a background character to make them actually look like that.
That's cool. I missed that. I didn't see that at all.
So damn funny.
I knew he was talking to one, but I didn't notice anything about the art.
Oh, I was cracking up. Just as soon as I saw that the background character actually just walked right up to him and was talking to him like that. It was so obvious. They didn't even try making him look more detailed. It was funny.
I gotta keep looking at this show as a comedy because I keep trying to analyze it further, and I'm just not happy with it when I'm like trying to follow it for the story and all that because it's just not there because it's not gonna be. It's more of a comedy, so I need to chill out.
We need to find one of those shows from this season that's actually going to be the diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
I just kind of check out like the featured shows on Crunchyroll and see which ones people are talking about. But so far, out of everything I've watched, it's been pretty meh this season. There's only a couple shows I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Blue Exorcist once we get all caught up on that.
I'm going to shoot for the next episode. Be ready for that one.
Holy shit. Well, I guess
that's only 25 episodes, plus whatever they've done now.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch season 1 again. So
yeah, you said that.
That's all you.
And, yeah, I don't really have much to say about Akibas trip. The notes that I wrote were like, there's more fan service like being integrated, and I'm not really happy about that because it's like, yeah, but it's a comedy. So I need, like I said, I need to chillax about my analyzation of the show because I'm just like, blah.
Yeah, I feel like the fan service is kind of like half of the point of the show, though. Similar to like Kill la Kill, where you have to beat the people by stripping them of their clothes.
But some of it's been ramped up. Like
Oh, yeah.
some of the idol stuff where they're just like zoomed in the whole time, and I'm like, okay, anytime now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
They had to make the special swimsuit for the red-haired chick just so she wouldn't die.
oh
It was like the full like school swimsuit
Onesie.
one piece. Yeah.
yeah, yep. I mean, the show's funny. I laugh the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The people are always looking at me weird at work when I'm laughing because I'm just like with my headphones chilling. Nobody can hear what I'm seeing or listening to or see what I'm doing, and I'm just fucking like rolling around.
They're missing out.
It's funny. I do like this show as a comedy. It's so hard for me to watch shows as a comedy when I'm not expecting them to be.
Yeah, it's a couple of different shows for you this season.
Yeah.
It's gotta be rough.
Well, when I started watching anime, it was all about the feels and shit. So it's like, as I'm coming into this other side of anime, it's a weird experience. But I like it. It's funny. And I like comedy. Comedy is like what I watch and do. Listen to comedy all day long. So it's enjoyable, 100%.
It's a different culture's comedy, so sometimes it's off-putting. Totally understandable.
It's just, I'm getting used to it. It's not too bad. All right. Cast Child. Oh, boy.
That fucking plot twist at the end, though. That was crazy. I actually gasped out loud.
When she got cut or sliced open, however you want to put it. Yeah.
Right on camera, too. So that's going to be like the focal point and probably on the news a bunch for the
Probably
next
for
episode.
the next episode, yeah.
And I thought I was being really smart in the beginning of this episode when they were talking about all the sumo stickers.
Uh-huh.
And they showed all the different hairstyles that they were on them and stuff. All the
And they were
different designs.
like, not as fat or fatter, and yeah.
And then it just showed like the same sticker that was on every single scene before with the same exact design, same hairstyle, same face.
Yep.
And I was just like, whoa, I caught that. They're different. And that was the whole point of the episode. Like,
Yeah.
If I didn't think that to myself, it was going to be thrown in my face like 10 times. It wasn't exactly super subtle. But I was super ready. I was like, ooh, I'm going to come into the podcast. I'm going to sound super smart and catching all these details. And it was force-fed to you. So that was a bummer.
I wrote a note. I don't know why the fuck I wrote this note because I don't write detailed enough notes, so I don't know what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I said human sacrifice for the sumo stickers. Do you remember anything about that?
Not at all. I don't remember human sacrifice at all.
There was some sort of human sacrifice that was happening, and I don't remember what it was. I'm the worst.
There was the guy who the police were saying committed suicide at the Love Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And then the one guy came and talked with the girl that was at the scene and was just like talking about the murder that happened at the Love Hotel.
Yeah.
The guy had the dream that the stickers, like, eyes opened up and were watching him and stuff. Because that's where the cameras were been recording all the scenarios and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting some pretty interesting development for the shows. That plot twist at the end when the sister chick was finally super likable. It was just killed out of nowhere. Just straight up sliced right through the fucking back.
She was fucked up.
Bleeding all over the ground. I paused too. I was like releasing my inner CSI Miami a bit. And was like, pause on the victim. Enhance. Look at the features. And there was nothing. It was literally just his face and a hood. But there was no face. It was just like a nose.
Okay.
So it's probably someone that we may have already seen, but there were no like features that really stuck out. Like I couldn't see their hair color or anything.
Okay.
It was just a flat-chested character with a knife, which makes me think it's probably a guy that stabbed her.
Probably. I would expect them to put enough details into like show boobs if it was a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Or it's going to be a girl with a flat chest, which is very common.
Possible.
Yeah. But the whole point of this episode was really that twist at the end. It's supposed to kind of get you hyped. They had this idea. We're going to put the camera up and watch the next incident happen. And they did catch it all on camera, but catching it on camera was the whole twist at the end.
Yeah.
So, next episode, I'm looking to see what they do, as far as the story goes. You still like it?
Yeah, I like this show a lot. It's just like...
It's pretty good.
It's so much more interesting than... I don't know if it's more interesting than Cultic 9. If we were equivalent to those episodes. But... It's pretty interesting. I like watching the show develop.
Wasn't it like episode 4 of Occultic 9 when everyone committed the mass suicide and
Probably.
stuff? And that was like the big plot twist that was kind of already ruined for us in the beginning. But I like it so far. I'm looking forward to see what they have to do. But I'm also
just
not
afraid.
I'm not trying to get my hopes up super high either. Man.
They just crushed us with the Cultic 9. And I'm just afraid of what's going to happen in this show.
Well, I've had my heart broken by this author before, so
Okay.
through a Chaos Head. And this is the sequel to that.
Yeah.
And then Occultic 9. So, we shall see. But I'm not getting ready to drop it anytime soon.
No, I love this show.
It's entertaining.
Well, I don't love it, but I love it enough to check it out. So, yeah. I'm not just going to stop watching it. Hell no. Because this one's all about the story.
Yeah, and this tickles your science funny bone a little bit more.
A little bit, but now it's kind of getting like more sci-fi. So I'm kind of like sad, but that's all right. I'm still into the story. It's interesting. Plus that fucking what the fuck happened? Who killed that chick? That's craziness. So yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Koro Sensei's quest is next up.
I want you to explain to me how you felt about this episode. Like, go through. Since I've already kind of seen the whole show.
I do want to make a point. I went back to find Wikipedia pages for all these shows. And I found this one. The Studio Corporation that did all of these. I think I said before that they made Anohana.
Mm-hmm. You said that last episode, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But because now I know that's what that says on Crunchyroll. But when I went to Wikipedia, it says the studio is not Fuji Creative Corporation, it's Lerche. And they made Assassination Classroom.
I usually just get all my information from my anime list and stuff like that. But
I'll have to keep looking around to see like what the fuck's going on because I'm so confused. I think the Fuji Creative Corporation is like several studios.
Probably.
So that's probably why it came up with it. Anohana. So anyway. Okay. So this episode, we watched them add a new classmate.
Yes.
Which was a magic block.
Yes.
Made by wizards or something?
Yes.
That knew how to kill old big bads and put their knowledge into it.
Yeah, she learned.
And that's like the whole of everything that I picked up from this episode.
Her specialty was... Are you planning on watching the original series, or can I just like compare and contrast the two?
That's fine.
Okay. So, in the original series, she was this killing machine made by the government, which was designed to kill Koro Sensei.
Okay.
And she had multiple guns that she could like pop out and like could shoot in a lot of different ways, a lot of different variables, adjusting to all that sort of stuff. And she would fire in the exact same way while recording Koro Sensei, and she would study his dodging patterns, and she would be able to like change up her trajectory to like mess with his dodging and stuff. And she ended up getting pretty dangerous by the end of the episode. Like she's able to like hide a bullet behind like another bullet while she's firing like 6 machine guns. So he actually got hit quite a few times, and that was the whole point of her being able to like fire 2 spells and stuff.
Okay.
At the same time and combine them and stuff.
I get it.
Yeah. And
when she was like, how is he dodging my double effects or something like double spell shit. Yeah.
And she's able to pick up and adjust to all that stuff. And she was like this cold, remorseless, just want to kill Koro Sensei. Don't give a fuck about what's going on in the classroom.
Oh yeah, she was like, freeze all you motherfuckers. I'm going to steal the XP.
It was rude as fuck. Went all Gandalf on him.
Ate all kinds of fucking food though.
Yeah, that was kind of funny how she actually had arms and legs and stuff. That wasn't a thing in the real show. But she was able to like put herself onto the cell phones of everybody else, so she'd be able to communicate through everybody through their cell phones. And Koro Sensei was doing the one-on-one teaching with her because he's like, look, none of the students like you because they're not allowed to have a real class while you're firing guns for 9 hours a day at us. So they're always just dodging like underneath their desks and stuff. She's like, you need to be less disruptive. And then he went through and he like wrapped tape around her or something so she couldn't like pull out her guns for a day. And then the government officials came in and was like, you can't harm her because that's against the rules. For whatever, they're trying to tell this monster that he has to abide by rules or some shit. So he went through and he hacked her and was like, you're going to be a girl who actually wants to get along with all the students.
Okay.
And all that sort of stuff. So all the students came in the next day and she had like the full body like display of herself. She was in like the super sunny backdrop and she was just, I'm super excited to learn with all you guys today. And everyone liked her. And then the government came back in and was like,
what the fuck did you do?
Yeah, you're still hacking. That's fucking cheating. So they changed her back, but she didn't like that. So she like hacked what the government changed back. So she's secretly like a normal girl now, but in the robot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so she was basically
exactly what happened in this show.
It is, but it was explained so much like
differently
in a way that she was a lot more likable in the original show.
Okay.
But I like having watched that show and then watching Koro Sensei Quest and seeing that it is the exact same show, just shown in a quicker, less descriptive way with RPG tones. Mm-hmm. So I enjoy this show a lot still, even though I've already seen it, basically.
That you kind of explained like what the fuck happened because all we saw was like a quick little thing of where she was like in this stone, but all of a sudden it was like flowers and shit and she was happy and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yep.
But that makes sense now.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that they weren't able to go into it much more, but every episode's exactly 10 minutes, so
yeah,
you're throwing in an intro and an outro and that you're getting like 7 minutes of screen time, so I don't blame them. I'm looking forward to the next character that they bring too. That'll be the third character from the caves in the north.
Okay.
So he's pretty cool.
All right. Yeah, I'm excited for that and for KonoSuba because we caught up on this. I put a thing on the Facebook and I was like, if you haven't seen KonoSuba, watch it because we're going to talk about it in the next episode. So just trying to prepare people. This show is fucking out of left field for me because I didn't think it was going to be another comedy.
I didn't think it was either, but holy shit, is it funny.
This is the funniest show I'm watching right now. Like, over the top funny. Fucking damn. I don't have a good explanation of this show, and I'm not going to read the Wikipedia because it's just going to go too far.
I love the Dungeons and Dragons tropes that are going on because that was a game I started playing like a few months ago, which I haven't played in a while. But holy shit, D&D is like a good magical experience, especially when you have all the characters that are sticking to their traits and their tropes and everything, and sometimes things work out for them, sometimes it doesn't. So in the game, you have like 20-sided die, and you say that you're gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do. You could go hide somewhere, you could say you're gonna attack this person, you can go try talking to them, and if you roll, and you roll low enough, bad shit's gonna happen to you and everybody else around you, and you're gonna have all these sorts of consequences and stuff. And if you have like bad enough base stats and whatnot, you're gonna just miss every single attack on these creatures, but you may have super high health, or you're gonna have just like one spell slot, but it's gonna be super fucking strong. Or your luck is gonna be insane, but you're gonna roll so low that you're still getting fucked up by blowing up like the Lord's mansion, basically.
Isn't that what your experience was? You had like super high luck or something?
Yeah, I would roll really well, but the DM was just like, nah, that's not is what's gonna happen. So it was a little frustrating, but like you have the goddess who has the really high base stats with super low intelligence, so she can do all this shit, but she's so dumb. She never like thinks steps ahead, and there's always something bad that's going on.
Yep.
She doesn't really have plans. She's just like, I could do that. I'm a goddess, and I'm gonna be able to do all this stuff, while causing a fuck ton of like vandalism and destroying
the whole town.
Yeah. Or you're gonna just be super lucky, so you're gonna be able to do stuff,
and you're intelligent,
but it's gonna be so like minuscule, like barely being able to happen. It'll work, but it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass and stuff like that.
Swing it.
I just
and hope for the best.
Every single episode, I was just like, man, this is just like fucking D&D, like the anime, and it's so fucking funny.
It was so goddamn funny. I was laughing the whole time I was watching this. Didn't matter what episode. I was just fucking watching and laughing. The only thing I wasn't excited about is by the time we're done with like this new season, the fan service is just like slowly crept up more and more and more. Other than that, this show's so fucking funny.
Who's your favorite of the three characters? That's not Seto.
I think Megamune.
Megamune?
Megamune?
Yeah.
She's so fucking funny.
I just love her, like, chuny, like, personality. A lot of the people, they have an actual term for it in Japan, where you have just, like, the super overactive imagination. You're imagining, like, that you have all these superpowers and stuff, and it affects you in your real life. Like, she wears the eye patch to hold back her powers, and she takes it off when she's trying to release everything, and that's super funny. There's a whole fucking show about, there's a couple of different shows, actually, where the people wear an eye patch to hold back their chuny powers and stuff. She's really funny. I like how everyone thinks of her as a little girl, and she's like, I'm not a little girl. But she always just needs so much help. I think my favorite person is the Crusader, or whatever the actual term for her is. It's so goddamn funny. She's just like...
She is funny.
This big, burly, like, tank woman who isn't very big and burly, but she has high hit points, and she can't hit fucking anything.
She
no
always
matter
misses.
what. And she loves taking a beating, and she's super embarrassing, and Sato always has to take care of her and stuff, and I'm just laughing my ass off every single time like something's happening to her. Except for the last fucking episode. I felt really bad.
Yeah, I was like, why do they have to do this? Don't want to see this happen.
It's taken a little too serious of a turn.
Yeah.
So, and the characters didn't even touch on it at all.
They did a little bit.
In the beginning, and then they completely forgot about it.
At the end of the episode... Oh, was it?
Mm-mm.
It was at the beginning?
Yeah.
They were like, oh shit, we gotta go get her. What? Oh
She's not
god,
back
I'm
yet.
imagining all this shit. Oh no! And then they're like talking about it, and then they start running around, and then I don't remember what happened.
It like flashed to her for like 5 seconds. They took all of her armor off. She's restrained, and she's saying like, no, don't do all that stuff. When the guy was like clearly checking her out during the court case or whatever. So I really hope this doesn't take like a super, super dark turn.
Me too. This show has been so fucking funny for me the last couple days that I've been watching it. I wouldn't want to see that at all.
Exactly. But it's season 2, the beginning of season 2, really. So we'll see how it goes. But I am so sad I didn't watch this sooner.
Yeah,
honestly, season 1.
Me too.
It was so funny. Every single episode was awesome.
I was laughing so hard. Like, enough to, like, last night, wake up my wife while she's sleeping. Because I'm just, like, slamming my hands down on the computer laughing so hard. It's so damn funny. I love this show. This is the diamond in the rough. Not really. Because it's season 2.
Yeah.
So.
And the show was super popular last season. Last year. If I actually watched it, it might have been one of my favorite animes from last year. But I didn't watch it at the same time as everything else, so saying that now is kind of biased. But pretty damn good show.
Oh, it's so good.
But other than that, I don't really have much more to say about it, other than I really hope it doesn't go dark, because I'll feel bad.
Dissecting it's just kind of like not possible because it's not that kind of show. So we got to keep it kind of like, it's so hard for me to not analyze some of these shows. So I'm just audibly expressing that again.
Rightfully so, though, because you're totally right. This isn't one of those shows yet that you can really just...
And if it is, I'm going to be so fucking sad because I don't want to see it turn that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been so fucking funny the whole time. Yeah.
It's kind of like Assassination Classroom in that sense. Like, the first half of the show was just so funny.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, and then it, like, took a serious turn because it actually had to, like, go on with the plot, which I have a feeling is going to happen with this show. I don't want it to, unless it does a really good job for it.
I didn't announce what the studio was, which I try to do when we first start talking about each show. This is Studio Dean.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of them.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. They haven't related, I don't think, for any of the ones we've done before, so...
Just leave my La Latina alone, please.
So damn funny. What? Fucking... What's up with that? All of a sudden we find out she's rich as shit.
Yeah.
After all the characters are, like, scraping by.
Well, she was hiding it from everybody.
Yeah. For a good reason.
Yeah. But she was just kind of in the starter zone to watch over everybody. And because she's also pretty awful by herself. So that's why she kept getting kicked out of a bunch of other parties. Which was totally okay with her because she likes being looked down on and talked to like she's worthless.
Yeah.
That's kind of her thing.
This fucking show. Oh, man. I thought I had more notes for something else.
I don't.
Even... Oh, I was making notes for my own self, not for the show. It's for the podcast.
Nice.
So I can edit easier. Well, that's it. This was quick.
Yeah. I kind of had a feeling that it would start to get quicker and quicker as we kind of got through. I mean, it's the beginning of the season and there isn't really much to talk about except for, like, I have a couple of ideas of what I think is going to happen for some of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just kind of take guesses and have my theories and whatnot, but there isn't very much, like, concrete, like, I don't know, story to really go off of.
Well, next time, we'll have to, like, bring up your predictions for each show, because I want to hear more. I don't have a lot, because I'm not seasoned in watching anime, so I'm always like...
I'm a grizzled veteran.
It's probably going to go this way, but I don't know, and I'm starting to pick up on more stuff, but not quite as much. You've been able to almost predict everything that's going to happen in most of these.
So far, I think. But, I mean, I really like being wrong in a lot of my predictions, though, because if I'm wrong in my predictions, it's keeping me on my toes and it's keeping me interested, unless it's just fucking bad in the way that it does it.
Yeah.
So, I like being wrong because I don't want the show to just follow the cookie cutter idea of what I would do for a show.
Yeah.
I want the author and the studio to surprise me with things that are going on. Keep it interesting and distinct from every other show that I've seen like it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not necessarily what you do, but more like, fucking, I've seen this in so many shows already. I don't want to see it fucking again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I had all these different predictions for what I thought was going to happen in Your Lie, and I was wrong. And that ended up being, like, one of the, like, the best anime that I've seen recently. Yep. Just because it kept throwing all this stuff in my face that was obvious if you would have known it, but because it purposely, like, misled you to think this way, then...
It was so good.
But I don't think that kind of show is just once in a great while. It doesn't happen or, like, get produced very often. And I don't think we'll see a show like that this season.
Unless, we can find that diamond in the rough.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll keep looking.
You'll have to, like, watch a couple of different shows, like, yourself. I told you the couple that I was already going to check out, but you should check out some yourself.
That's true. I should do more my own research, because just we need a broader spectrum of what we're looking for. So if I just keep following whatever you say, then we're not as open as we could be.
Agreed.
Man,
but you know,
I was gonna say something else.
We're learning. This is only going to be episode 4 of the podcast.
Yeah.
And I've been sick the past couple of times. And, I mean, we can only get better, really.
Oh, yeah. I think we definitely hit our stride on this podcast. We actually had, like, everything together. We started to finish pretty much no fucking interruptions. We didn't get tripped up. We didn't, I said like as much, but whatever.
I'm sure I did too, but I'm trying not to listen to myself when I speak.
Probably makes it worse. I didn't think about that.
I just tried being a little more natural, but my natural is pretty like borderline autistic, so we'll see.
I don't know about that.
We'll let the audience decide.
I know, listening back. I did it again. I don't
chill out, Tyler.
Fully complete my words. I was telling you about this before.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I remember that.
I always cut off my words because as long as you get most of the sound, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
It's fucking terrible because I was listening to myself back and I'm like, I don't enunciate anything. I just like say half the word. And I don't even know what I was saying there because I didn't even finish my shit. I'm like, God damn it.
I thought to myself, okay, this episode, speak a lot slower so you're not stumbling over yourself and saying the same words over and over. I don't think I really tried for that, but I made the mental note, I swear. I was trying.
When we started our last podcast, we sounded like we were in a complete, like, almost, not necessarily a fist fight, but we sounded like we were trying to grab mic time from each other. We were literally talking over each other from the start to like 25 minutes.
Were we?
Yeah. We piddled out a little bit and it sounded better by the end, but I was like, what the fuck? It sounded crazy when I was starting up first.
I was just like working and listening to it, and I was just kind of making notes as I was going along. I wrote a couple of things down on like a scrap piece of paper there, so I wasn't like sitting myself down in like, I don't know, a study corner trying to dissect our own podcast. But I think I'm going to start like listening to them for like the first time. Maybe even during the editing process, I might just take it with me to the gym and just keep riding a bike while I'm listening to it, make notes on my phone or something. But that's also a pain in the ass. And I want to keep watching a Haikyuu while I'm at the gym. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I can't say much because I was only in like episode 5, so I don't know too much, but I liked it for what I did watch.
I have a couple of friends who said it was really good, but I've also heard that it just takes a long time to start up.
No.
Yeah, like you only get like one game done by like the first 10 episodes. And I'm pretty sure that was the game that I just watched today. So if I have to watch like 8 or 9 episodes of training next, we shall see. But I'm sure it'll get really good once I get like super caught up. Yeah, the 3rd season, it stopped on episode 10. I don't think it's airing anymore.
Oh.
I might be done, but who knows? No idea.
Episode 10 sounds like they like finished it.
Maybe. Let me look at the other seasons. 25 and 25.
Damn. So yeah, they might have finished it.
Or that, or it's just like not. I don't understand why they would end it on a 10 though. I feel like that's not as much episode as a. What's the fucking basketball anime that I was thinking of? The one I was describing earlier.
Kuroko's?
Yeah, Kuroko's. That went up to like episode 75.
Okay.
So that was like 3 seasons, but 3 streaming sessions with like 6 seasons. But
okay. So that's damn.
Different show though.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
But
it might be done.
There's no premium thing for it, so it was pretty interesting for the first show though.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. We're watching all these shows on premium, so people that don't have premium could like.
They're only going to be like a week behind. I mean, you might have a hidden premium account somewhere that you're paying for that you have no idea. Kind of like what I did. I would suggest trying to log into a couple of different accounts because you're probably paying for it somewhere.
Okay, did Amazon buy Twitch or did Twitch buy Amazon? Probably Amazon bought Twitch.
Probably.
I hope Amazon buys Crunchyroll.
Did they buy them or they just have a partnership?
I don't know. Maybe they should make... Whatever, I don't care. If I could just get, my Crunchyroll and my Amazon Prime and my Twitch Prime all in one subscription, I'd be a very happy person.
I know Funimation and Crunchyroll are doing a thing.
Are they really?
Yeah, which is awesome because a lot of the shows that I was watching when I first started were Funimation shows.
Tokyo Ghoul is.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Actually, Your Lie in April was too, wasn't it? Probably not, now that I think about it. I think I just watched so many anime at that point. Let's see. Your Lie in April.
Okay, but I have a goal for what we want to do within the next couple of months. Maybe not necessarily a goal, but one podcast that I have an idea for.
No, it was Fuji TV. So I'm
Fuji TV? Okay.
I'm just dumb.
So, they are making a live-action Ghost in the Shell film that's going to be coming out within the next couple of months. Probably like sometime in March.
Okay.
I've never seen Ghost in the Shell at all. I think there's a TV series for it. I think there's a few different movies for it.
I don't know anything about it at all.
All I know is that it's really good.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it either. So I'm going to watch that once it gets closer to that release time.
Uh-huh.
And I've been talking to a person on Twitter, which I already told you about.
Mm-hmm.
We might have a guest on the show for that. Maybe within a couple of months. But I want to get guests on the show more for like other shows as well. I have a couple of friends who could probably talk with us about Sword Art Online because I've been thinking about it. And while critically I think it's a bad show, I think I liked it for a while for legitimate reasons. And those reasons are probably why everyone else likes it as well. But critically I think it could have been done a lot better. But it was just kind of a right time, right place sort of show. And I'd love to have like a whole series, or not a whole series, but a whole episode on Sword Art once that movie comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that'd be a good point.
I gotta catch up, I guess.
That could be like a month or two from now. And that you only have to watch like, what, half of the last season?
Yeah.
And then a movie. So, I believe in you.
Oh, yeah, that won't be hard. Plus, we should watch like the movie together or something. Sit down and make a time of it. Rather than just watching all this anime on our own all the time.
Yeah, those are the couple shows that I like want to do like a whole episode about, kind of like what we did for Tokyo Ghoul, but hopefully put together in one sitting. And just
we can knock that out
complete.
a little better.
Yeah, it'll be done a lot better than episode 1.
I'd also like to hear feedback. If anybody wanted to hear like a live stream in the future, definitely not now, but we're thinking about doing that too, just because we could do like questions and answers easier and whatnot. Yeah. Maybe not even like not necessarily a video live stream, but an audio at least. We can figure something out.
That sounds like fun. I mean, you have to do minimal editing for it. You get a lot more interaction for the people that are listening to the podcast. If you guys have any sort of like questions you want to ask us, maybe about our personal lives or just anything, our opinions on shows,
send us a story.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even care.
I mean, I wouldn't mind hearing from you guys either, and I definitely think we could probably talk about it on the podcast. Maybe not every single time for a while, because we're not exactly the largest duo out on the web right now, but
yeah, I'd like to see at least some comments, feedback, something. Let us know what you think. We want to hear, if you found the diamond in the rough, I'd love to hear it because I want to watch it.
Yes, please. Tell us what show is actually good this fucking season, because I'm having a hard time finding them.
And I know I'm real far behind and I've got a lot of shit to catch up on, but if you find a show that you like, just like somebody recommended Monster to you,
yeah,
we could always get recommendations from other people. I'd love to hear what you guys want us to watch.
I haven't watched Monster in so long. Just trying to like keep up to date on all this sort of stuff. I was gonna watch episodes this morning, but I was like, I'm just gonna play Overwatch instead. But just because I'm just gonna start blending shows after a while. If I keep adding series, and now we got to catch up on Blue Exorcist as well. Like I don't know. I don't really have too much time, especially now that I'm going to the gym.
Yeah,
a lot. So
it's helping me. I think I was getting shows confused more often when it was just starting out, the episodes of this season. But now that I'm seeing more story, I'm connecting it back a little easier, and I'm like, okay, that's that story, that's that person. I know what the fuck's going on now.
Good.
So I wasn't as confused this time. Last time I was just fucking lost.
Yeah. But I don't really have anything else to bring up.
No.
You want to just wrap this up?
We'll wrap this up.
Perfect. You can follow us on a lot of our social media. I'm running the Twitter page at twitter.com/thefourthwallpod. Anthony's running the Facebook page at facebook.com/thefourthwallpod. We have an Instagram for the Fourth Wall Pod. Have you actually used it at all?
I don't know if there's anything on that at all. But if people use it, I'll see it, and I'll start using it more often. I'll put some stuff up on it as soon as I can. I like to be I want to start taking pictures more of like a simulcast that's about to drop or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, ooh, excited for this kind of thing. So yeah,
just hide like the title of the show and be like, oh, what show are we bringing up this week? Make it sort of like a mystery. Not that we're going to be talking about Blue Exorcist next week or anything, but
watch Blue Exorcist because we're going to be talking about it next week. I hope. I'll officially announce it, so look for it. I'm got to do a lot more catching up. So
yeah, you have some work to do.
I do.
I refuse to just rewatch it because that's just way too much for right now. But you're a trooper, so
I'm getting there.
You could also join our Discord if you want to hop in, chat with us sometimes, because we're hanging out in there for a majority of the time. Play some games with us. Get some chat with the other community members.
What the fuck?
Are you taking a picture of me?
No, I'm trying to get the table. Don't worry. Nope, I got a picture of you. Hang on.
I'm just like deer caught in the headlights.
Jump in the Discord, though. Because I think that's... I gotta talk into the microphone. Jump in the Discord, though.
It can pick you up from downstairs.
That's true. We want to hear you guys directly to us. We can give you, an actual conversation instead of just an email. So Discord's probably the quickest way to get right to us. And we'll even be able to get back with you probably within 24 hours.
Probably less than that, even. So, just taking a picture.
Yes. We got an Instagram picture going up.
Oh, boy.
So. All right. I'm good. You get all your thoughts out for this episode?
Hi, good. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Sorry again I'm sick for the second week in a row, but I am just a frail old man. So, I'll try to baby myself a little bit more.
I think I sniffled as much this episode as you did, and I'm not even sick. So, it's this house. It's not you.
Oh, it's definitely me. I'm definitely sick as fuck. But I appreciate that.
All right. This is Anthony from the Fourth Wall Podcast.
And this is John from the Fourth Wall Podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a wonderful day.
Let's go. Shining justice led by a day. From you, phantom, 交差する息吹。岬から潮風、トンネル